In today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the Aqua Pro steamer. I've been using the Aqua Pro Vac for over 5 years, and they actually sent me this steamer to do a review to demonstrate for you guys how this can transform your interior detailing as well as cleaning in your home. So let's go ahead, unbox it, and see what she can do.
One thing that I'm actually really stoked about, they sent me an inline DI resin filter that basically I can connect this to either my hose or my pressure washer, and this is going to help remove lead, bacteria, chlorine, mercury, copper, all those solids in your water that is what gives you hard water, and this will help soften the water. They actually sent this to me to use with the steamer. They also have a TDS meter that they sent, so that way we can make sure that we are putting DI softened water in here to help prevent calcium buildup. It's one of the #1 killers of steamers is hard water, and I have very hard water here. When I told them that, they're like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and send this to you so that way you can get more out of the steamer. This is actually like $25. For those of you that maybe you're a detailer, that you struggle with hard water spots and washing your vehicle maybe out in the elements, I'm gonna put the link to this. We're gonna test this out in future videos. We're gonna connect it to my pressure washer to see if this can maybe help me with some of the hard water issues that I have here at my shop. But you can also use this with your steamer to make sure that you get more out of the steamer and not have calcium buildup. So I'm really excited about this one. We're gonna play with that a lot in the next couple of weeks. So what's in the box?
So everything came extremely well packaged, very tight and secure within the box. We have our hose, we have multiple bonnets that you can use with your attachments, as well as a jet steam, different brushes that you can use for detail cleaning, as well as an instruction manual. I do recommend familiarizing yourself with that just to get the most out of it before you use it. We kind of had to turn it over just to get everything out because it was so tightly packaged. Everything comes individually wrapped, and I was actually very impressed with the attachments. They are a little bit larger than the ones that I've worked with in the past, but we have a squeegee attachment. We also have a triangular brush attachment that you can use for carpets, for scrubbing, for leather, etc. And you have attachments that can go over those as well, kind of like bonnets, to be able to clean your carpets. So we have multiple heads that are very solid, very well built, with multiple injection points for steam to come out. So you're going to get a lot of steam with these attachments. But as I'm putting everything together, very impressed with one, how easy it is to put together and assemble, and how professional and solid this unit feels.
So with our new unit, you can see we've got kind of a nice cover where we empty and fill with our water. You do need to kind of push down, turn counterclockwise to pull this out. Everything comes greased and ready to use. One thing I really like, the steamer that I've been using, whenever I want to fill it up, I basically have to hold it precisely under the faucet in my mudroom to be able to fill up with water. And I don't know if you've ever had to do those, but you have to it's like playing that game at the fair where you have to put the water directly in the clown's face. If you miss, you're gonna have water spilling all over the place. And so they actually have a bottle here that you can fill up with your water, and you can even put your filtered water, your DI resin water, and then it's like feeding a baby calf. Just put it straight in there, push down, and you're gonna be able to effortlessly fill up your steamer with water. And then when you're done, just put this back on, push down, and get it locked back into place. Here you can see we have an empty water indicator. This will turn on when you need to refill. We have a steam indicator. This will turn on when it is ready to go. We can adjust our steam output here. This is our on-off button. This is basically where we connect and disconnect our water line. So you see we have some connections right here, and then you just basically match it up. Just push that in. You want to put this down to lock that in place, and then you are ready to go. Looks like we have some seals and some citric acid to be able to clean this out with if you ever need to maintain it. We also have some extendable arms if you want to work standing up, as well as some intricate brushes that we can connect to the ends. These will break down over time, so the fact that they send you two is nice just to get you started. So all in all, what we have in the box, very impressed with the quality. It is compact. It's not necessarily like 5 pounds. It's got a little bit of weight to it, especially on the butt end. But obviously quality is going to have a little bit of weight to it, especially when you've got a strong kind of motor behind it to heat up all of that water. So I'm excited to test out the DI filter from EquipMax to be able to give us purified water inside of our steamer. So we're gonna go ahead, get her filled up, and demonstrate for you guys what our Aqua Pro steamer can do for detailing. So my outdoor spigot is a little too low to the ground for me to directly connect the Aqua Spray to it. So we have a 3-foot length of hose, as well as a quick disconnect attached to the Aqua Spray. So that way we can quickly disconnect and attach it to my pressure washer if I want it for a spot-free rinse. But we're gonna go ahead and fill up our jug with our filtered water. All right, so we've got our filtered water. Now we can go ahead and get that in our steamer. So it's about 30 degrees outside currently, and my customer for today had requested that I do an engine bay detail. Now typically I would do this outside with my pressure washer, but we can't do that because it's freezing outside. So we're going to use steam to actually blast through all of the heavy grime, grease, and dirt on this engine and demonstrate for you guys how steam can be a great tool for even engine bay detailing. It's like feeding a baby cow. We can just dump it and glug it. You don't want to fill it all the way to the top. You want to leave a little bit of space so that way it will heat up quickly. If you overfill it, it's going to take forever to heat all that water. You leave a little bit of air in there, it will heat up faster for you. So we're going to stop there, and we're going to put our top on. Push down and lock that in. We're going to plug it in and let it heat up. So because I have some other stuff to do around the garage, what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this on. This takes about 10 minutes to heat up. Once we are fully heated up, we'll see a green light turn on here, then we are good to go. And in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead, get our hose connected, lock that in, and we are going to use the micro nozzle for the engine just to kind of give us some more concentrated steam. So we're all set up. We're gonna wait for this to turn green. So we have our green light. We are good to go. Now with this trigger, let's pull this down. And you don't have to hold it, but you can see just how much steam we have coming out. And we can increase that or dial it back to our need if you just need a gentle puff, a little bit more, or massive amounts of steam. This steamer heats up to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, so it goes without saying, use with caution to avoid burning yourself. We're gonna dial that back to about here. I think that should be good for what we need. So we have a rinseless wash in our bucket, and this is Suds Lab Bug and Tar Remover. No, these aren't bugs, but it is more tar-like, and we need kind of a degreaser to punch through all of this caked on grease and film. This is safe on paint, so it should be fine here. Just gonna spray this on. Take a look at how our bug and tar remover from Suds Lab has just melted all of that nastiness. It's really broken it down, so that way I can use a microfiber to wipe it all up. So we will steam clean it in just a moment, but because this is a pretty strong chemical, we're going to use our microfiber that had been soaking in a rinseless wash just to kind of go over the tops of the surfaces, get a bulk of the chemical and the dirt up, and then we'll come in with our detailing brush and steam and fine tune all of the nooks and crannies and the intricate areas of our engine. Got our big stuff done now. What we're gonna do is we got our steamer. I'm just gonna come in. Careful around our electrical components. If I would spray a pressure washer into it, I don't have to be so concerned about water but obviously we don't want to melt plastics. And if you go too close onto your plastics with steam, you can discolor it. So we're not looking to pull oils out of it or fade them. We're just trying to blast the dirt out. So we're gonna be very quick.
My previous steamer, I noticed that if I used it for a long period of time, I would lose pressure. It would diminish after about 15 to 20 seconds. And sometimes if I wanted to go right back into cleaning, I had to give it some time to build pressure back up. I did not notice that with this steamer. Even if I'm using it with short bursts or for a continuous flow for 30, 45 seconds, I didn't have a decrease in pressure. We had consistent strength throughout, and I didn't have to give it time to build pressure back up. So very impressed with that fact.
I'm really impressed with the amount of steam and force that we have with this. That is way more steam than my previous steamer ever had. So now we can just take a dry microfiber and we're just gonna mop up. What's great is that with me doing winter detailing, I didn't want to use my detailing keg and rinse it and put all of that grease and oil and gas on my garage floor. I paid a lot of money for my garage floor, and I'd like to keep it as nice as possible. I could get compressed air in here, blow out even more of the liquid. Just want to kind of go over the quick surfaces, and then we're actually going to dress this. For that, we're going to use Koshemi Motor Plast. Basically spray, and that's it. Let it air dry.
So beyond steam's capability of blasting through heavy grease and grime on an engine, we all know the benefits that steam can contribute to interior detailing. Now, I don't typically use steam for every detail. Sometimes I don't need it. Sometimes it's actually too powerful. Or if a vehicle is in a deteriorated state where we have dry and brittle plastics, steam might cause further damage. But in situations where you have a heavy buildup of makeup, body oils, grease, and grime, it can be essential for blasting through all of that heavy buildup of dirt very effortlessly. But I do recommend proceeding with caution. Don't sit too long on plastics or near electrical components, and make sure when you are using it on fabric that you don't sit too long on the material or get in too close, because you can actually scorch or burn fabric using steam for too long of a period of time. In this instance, I could have used the triangular head, but I was about an inch or two above the surface, just allowing the heat from the steam to loosen and break down a lot of the body oils and the dirt that were on our seats before we followed up with our drill brush to agitate. And again, this kind of helped remove any sort of lines, leave an even appearance, and then I could come in, follow up with our Aqua Pro extractor to remove all the body oils and the dirt in the upholstered seat. So whenever you are using steam on an interior, I do recommend just proceeding with caution. I've seen situations where when you don't know what you're doing and you sit too long on a certain material, you can cause damage. So I normally will reserve steam for those intense situations where we either need a chemical-free solution for maybe customers who are sensitive to odors or chemicals, or where we have a heavy buildup of dirt that we need to break it down with steam. And I know some of you may disagree with me and prefer to use steam for every interior detail because you want to be able to sanitize the interior surface for your customer. But in reality, this steamer can actually get up to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And in order to sanitize a surface, you actually have to sit on that surface for about a minute. That would actually cause harm for most surfaces if you were to sit on it for that long. So while you may not necessarily sanitize, you are definitely disinfecting by reducing the amount of bacteria that's on the surface, even without chemical. So for those of you that are looking to reduce the amount of bacteria that's on the surface of your interior, offer a chemical-free option even for your customers, and just give you the ability to blast through heavy dirt and grime, steam is definitely going to be a handy tool to have in your arsenal. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this closer look at what to expect when you purchase an Aqua Pro steamer. Thank you to Aqua Provac for sending this to me to test out. I wasn't paid for this video, but I was sent free product to demonstrate. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. But we'll see you guys in the very next detail.